We are at the oldest continually operating stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Taken in at the 3. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. And a look here now at their 4th-year quarterback.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
The drive will begin with a run by Edwards-Helaire. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. Now, these two teams, you might recall, met back in mid-season, Week 8 to be exact. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. Second down, back to Edwards-Helaire. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. This defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
There's a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr.
Part of why they came to this week with a winning record is that they feed off of mistakes like this, and now it's a prime opportunity, just moments in the game to get a short field touchdown off of their big defensive play. Now on the other side, they were already the underdog in this one.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Lions have taken the early lead on the road here at Lambeau.
Well, that's how you take advantage of an early turnover. A sudden change situation, meaning ball's turned over. How's both sides going to handle it? One side handled it way better. They went right out on the field and put the ball in the end zone.
One play, that just added insult to injury.
Yeah, that just tells you on the defensive side, they didn't come out ready to go, still reeling from the fact that the ball got turned over.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. Lynch fighting. He fumbles. He lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. Then he will bring it back to about the 11-yard line. A costly mistake there in the return game, and that is not how you want to answer an opening touchdown.
Yeah, and your defense is asking you a lot of questions right now because you're already down 7-0. You turn the ball over, they've got to go right back out there to try and keep it from getting to 14-0.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Throwing is Jackson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Packers are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away and could cost them a ball game?
Here's Edwards-Helaire as they will start on the ground. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Off the play fake. McCord. He has it complete to Christian Watson. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 16 and a first down for the green and gold.
And that's how you shake off the interception you threw on the opening drive. Come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to 2 people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
First and 10, it's Edwards-Helaire with it. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Edwards-Helaire as they run out of the gun. And he'll be stopped at the 46. Gain of 3.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind.
I think we call that season's greetings right there. He came up, pow, knocked him for a loss.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, his team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down. This offense, Charles, we've talked about how well they played all season, sitting now at 13-0 and the finish line for a perfect regular season. That's in sight. Some of the media this week were pointing back to the 07 Patriots. Of course, remember, they finished the regular season unbeaten, but they were tested multiple times in that final month plus.
Yeah, but something like 4 of their last 6 wins were one-possession games, and they played like a team that was trying to protect something instead of chasing something. And that's what happens when you have an undefeated record. So it behooves you as a team, get a couple blowouts in there so you get a chance to relax and breathe. But that's much easier said than done.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
So the completion good for 6 yards. And 3rd and 8 now. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. On 3rd down, Jackson dancing to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Calling a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now. Now it's Jackson. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. A great effort there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Lions' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback.
Off the option, it's Edwards-Helaire. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. A shotgun snap and a give to Edwards-Helaire. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he'll look underneath here for Edwards-Helaire. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5, and that will come the offense as they take over. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And you figure this should be a healthy, a rested, a focused unit, and they're working on a good winning streak. They had the week off last week. This is really a team, Charles, that should be in top 4.
I would agree absolutely with that. What coaches worry about, what organizations worry about, though, is overconfidence. They've been playing so well.
And now the rookie's free. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. 67 yards. And the Lions are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but well, let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
On second down, here's a keeper by the QB. He'll grab 3 yards on the play, taking it himself for the first down. They'll run. It's Edwards-Helaire. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
Second down, back to Edwards-Helaire. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
The Packers on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 5. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Nick Bosa in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Jackson back in the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No. It's it. And now following that last play, I do believe we're going to get a review here. Yes, indeed, the red flag is out. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call. So not successful there on the challenge, and he'll have to be careful from here on out because he'll only have 1 challenge remaining. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. They're going on 4th down. It's Jackson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Lions are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Now come the Packers for their next drive as we take a look at the playoff race in the NFC coming into the weekend. Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the fourth quarter. But you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's one interception, we're still in the first half, I'm going to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself, and continue to run your offense.
It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on third down. They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up fourth.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
On fourth down on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Detroit's offense ready to take over. Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Detroit. Jonathan Taylor hitting double digits with his 10th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Lions have taken a 5-touchdown lead. So this now 34-0 with the extra point pending. And Charles, I thought these guys might have the advantage coming in, but I didn't expect this.
Well, I'm glad we're going with full transparency here because I didn't either. I thought we might be looking at a 24-20 type game, maybe 13-10 at the half. But this has been total, utter domination.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes this 35-0 now. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now.
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
Edwards-Helaire now off the option. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. From the gun on third down, McCord. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Chase Young. What an effort from him on that play. Big tackle for a loss of 11. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. all year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Lions are going to have it here just past the 25. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him. And I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills. And that's something that, for guys of his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills. But they've really increased it.
He's got him in. Complete. Touchdown, Detroit. Jamison Williams with touchdown number 29, too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. And the Lions will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Point after, right down the middle. And it is 42-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Packers with the football here late in this first half. Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here. But with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And into the end zone, a scoop and score on the fumble return for the Detroit touchdown. Now the try here for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Packers with the football here late in this first half. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. Throwing to start the drive. McCord, now a swing pass. It's Edwards-Helaire. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Operating from the gun. McCord. Pressure comes and down he goes. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On 3rd down, here's Edwards-Helaire. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. That's taken on the 25. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return, and they will take over 1st and 10. And the Lions going to go back on offense one final time in this first half. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room. Play action. Now Jackson sliding out of the pocket. A fight for it, and this is caught. What a catch. The Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. Open man downfield is Ridley. Touchdown! A great effort there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Lions will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point splits the uprights. And the is on here in this first half. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning. Well, we're in the latter stages of this season. Everybody's getting antsy, so antsy that we're going to skip the halftime and get ready for the third quarter. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. And the Lions getting set to go on offense to start the third. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game.
There he goes left side. The 20. And in for the Lions touchdown. A big play there. 78 yards. And the Lions are pouring it on. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
So the Lion offense staying on the field as they're going to try for 2. Jackson here is going to look to throw. And this is going to be caught. Well, not sure about the need to go for 2, but they get it and extend this lead out even further.
But I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. Throwing to start the drive. McCord, quick slant to Watson. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's the option. Running right. Oh, a strip. The ball comes out, and the Lions have recovered. So that play, I mean, it was pretty well blown up from the start, and it results in a turnover.
Yeah, and when you're running the option like that as a quarterback, you have so many different keys and reads to make that sometimes as you're making them, you're not protecting the ball the way you should, and it gets popped free.
So here come the Lions now. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. Touchdown! A great play there. His third touchdown of the game, number 11 on the year. And the Lions take the forced fumble and convert it into 6 points. A familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this third quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening it up. You may get some playing time in this one.
They'll look to throw, and they are 3 for 3 on 2-point conversions as he is into the end zone for the score.
Personally, I'd rather see him kick the extra point there than to go for 2, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story here. I mean, this isn't college. You know, size of victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is win by 1 point. That's all that you need. Instead, they go for it, get 2. You got some pretty ticked off folks on the other sideline now.
Taken in at the 3. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. That's such a costly interception, nearly a pick 6, but now they're so close they are knocking on the door for a touchdown.
And I never want to get on any team for being aggressive because that's part of what their makeup is, and oftentimes it's successful. But in this case, you've got to be selective about it and make sure you take care of the football. That interception.
And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. From a yard out. And the Lions get another third quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. And, Charles, they continue to have trouble stopping him as he's into the end zone yet again.
Yeah, that's multiple series now that have ended with him in the end zone. A perfect plan on how to utilize him best when they get in close.
So the Lion offense staying on the field as they're going to try for 2. They'll try and throw for it. And it's incomplete. But a flag is down here, so hang on. Let's see what we've got. A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
Now Jackson, and he's got it. They add on more, a little salt in the wound. 2-point conversion makes this lead even bigger.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this, but to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there, and sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
off the option, it's Edwards-Helaire. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Off play action. McCord. Over the middle here, it's hauled in by Watson. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Great change up there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You're running against a half of him, and the inside half, and he took it right across his face, got inside, and won that route in a big way.
No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. On now is the Packers punter, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Found good room to run there. Returns it 14 yards. The Lions offense set to take over. Well, they got to be thrilled with how they've operated so far in this one. They've got the nice lead, and now a chance to score here on 3 straight possessions.
Yeah, and the way that they are rolling, I just don't know how they get slowed down. Because
Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
On 2nd down, it's Taylor. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Here's Jackson to throw. And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Fair catch called for and made, but now we'll have to see about the penalty. Football 101, you've got to let the guy catch the ball.
You have to know the ball is there. You have to know it's arrived. Otherwise, you're going to get flagged every time.
Edwards-Helaire now off the option. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for 2nd down.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
To throw on 2nd down. McCord, and right side, Henry's got it. And they're going to get this up to midfield. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, you know, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
On now is the Packers punter. They'll boot it away from about his 35. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. And Detroit getting set to go now. And I would say they went 3 and out last time, but actually they didn't even get to 3 and out. Still a strange decision to us here in the booth.
Yeah, let's hope they don't go 1 and out, but maybe, possibly, let's try and think with them here. Try and play field position maybe, turn the ball over, put it in the hands of their defense. Who knows?
You're a nice man. And this will wind up a Lions first down as he'll take this up to about the 33-yard line. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Jackson. Hit as he throws there, incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now it's Jackson. He completes it to Ridley. On the move past the 40. Down the sideline he goes. And he's going to be out of bounds all the way down inside the 15. A big play there on the catch and run. 55 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. To throw is Jackson. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Lamar Jackson, a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Lions are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. Well, that was all Lamar Jackson all the time on that drive, both through the air and in the end with a touchdown run.
Yeah, how about him doing things a little bit on the reverse side there, Brandon, because he softened him up throwing the football and opened up the running lanes. And when he gets a little bit of a sliver, he's gone. And that's exactly what he did there.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Offense ready to get their next drive underway. Well, the disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really hit as he throws, and the ball is out. It's a live football, and this is scooped up by the Lions. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. There are two words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S, ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Here's Jackson, and that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. A 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Lions add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Extra point right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Facing a big fourth quarter deficit here. Things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season. But in this one, well, their defense has really struggled. Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Chase Young able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his third sack of the afternoon. Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been stymied left and right. Converted only one time. This will be 3rd and a mile. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10. Detroit's offense ready to take over. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York? Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And he's in for the score. And his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
They'll let Taylor try and run. And they're a perfect 5 for 5 now on 2-point conversions as he is in to get them 2 more. So they kept it on the ground, got it into the end zone. But Charles, sometimes you probably see teams treat a 2-point conversion differently than if it was 1st and goal from the 2, or I should say 3rd and goal from the 2.
I agree with you totally on that. A lot of teams treat it as if they have farther to go and shy away from running the football. I think this is a great spot to do it because most teams play you for the pass. Go ahead and run and let your linemen surge and fire out.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. Throwing to start the drive. McCord under pressure, and down he goes. Chase Young. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. Looking to throw on 2nd down. McCord. That's taken in by Watson. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. He's had the interception woes in this one, Charles, and that time a little bold to throw it into double coverage, but he beat the double coverage.
Yeah, but I admire that he still will challenge defenders downfield, even though the ball's been in jeopardy a few times in this game. A nice ball there against multiple defenders, and they advance it downfield.
On now is the Packers punter as he's on to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. Jamison Williams out onto the field as his guys take over on offense. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting him, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. They go play action now. Jackson. They'll roll him out right. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete. But the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So they take a decent shot, CD, and the flag comes out for pass interference.
Yeah, a little DPI, as they like to call it in the business, right? And the farther you get downfield, the more frenetic things get, and the more calm and control you have to remain as a defender. That was a little bit of a slip there, and the penalty will go against him.
And now they're in the hurry-up. To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson, he lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Jamar Chase. Four yards, and the Lions are closing in on a 14-0 record as they extend their lead. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. And Jackson throwing once more. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for two in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurting this spot. No, okay.
And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Green Bay's offense ready to go again. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one. Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunted. They actually accomplished their goal there. Now they've got them aware that they can throw a screen at them, maybe to slow the pass rush down a little bit, and they can throw it downfield.
To throw on second down. McCord over the middle, complete. That's Henry. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot.
And my goodness, another interception. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. A great effort there. 26 yards. And the Lions extend their fourth quarter lead, and they are closing in now on a 14-win campaign. Extra point attempt to come here. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. Just what silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny. I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
Looking to throw on second down. McCord under pressure, and they got to him again. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. So certainly in a pickle here. They have a mile to go to try to pick up the first. We'll see what they've drawn up. And they're going to sack him yet again. The pass rush has been relentless. This time it yields a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even a battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And the Packers are going to take possession here at their own 33. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Throwing to start the drive. McCord. And a quick throw here that's complete. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll make it second down. Looking to throw. McCord. And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
To throw on third down. McCord. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. The Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and the Lions will take over. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's got a man, complete. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Another touchdown here in the fourth quarter. And, Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And, partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball. And sometimes even your special teams. And that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of two-point tries and see what the data tells us. Because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation. This time, unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
Throwing on first down. McCord. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. Now this airmail to the sideline. It's incomplete. And there don't appear to be any flags forthcoming. Maybe a little fortunate there. It's third down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Back to throw. McCord. Complete. Hunter Henry with a grab. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give them 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete, and he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Again, he'll drop to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Patrick Queen. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound...
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Packers offense set to go. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that zero on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mention in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
And they're going to get this up to midfield. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these...
And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up second. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing,